Some say that if you want to get rich, you should avoid debt altogether. Others say if you want to get rich, you should use other people's money to help you get there. Which one is right? Debt is a little bit like Donald Trump. It's a tool, and in the right hands it can be really useful, but in the wrong hands it can be dangerous. But debt itself is not just one kind of debt. There is good debt and bad debt. So here's my very simple guide to the difference between the two. Let's look at bad debt first. Bad debt is high cost, usually short term, and it helps you buy stuff which goes down in value. So what are some examples of bad debt? Well, how about a car loan where you borrow money, you pay interest, sometimes quite high interest, to buy something which is immediately going to start going down in value, depreciating, the second you drive it off the forecourt. Or how about a credit card? Usually we use credit cards to buy things which we need in the short term, and we're either going to eat or wear and it'll wear out, but not normally things which go up in value. Take that a step further and you've got store cards which are really, really high interest, and generally people buy things that they don't need with them. And taken to the worst extent, you've got payday loans, super high interest, but people sometimes need to use these just to buy food. All those are kinds of bad debt and should be avoided if at all possible. So how about good debt? Well, it's the opposite. Generally speaking, it's longer term, it's lower interest, and you use it to buy stuff which is going to go up in value. The obvious example is to buy a house. Mortgage interest rates are very low, they're usually very long term, and houses and property generally usually goes up in value over time, not always. Another example is a student loan. Even though you're not buying something as such, well, you could argue you're buying an education, and that increases the value of your employment prospects. So those are two examples of good debt: low interest rate, long term, and buys stuff which goes up in value. So if debt is a tool, you want to make sure you're using the right tool for the job, avoiding the bad debt and sticking with the good debt, thereby increasing your chances of increasing your wealth over time. Thanks for watching.